Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're diving into something really crucial for your career, actually getting that pay rise or promotion you've been thinking about.
Yeah. Not just, wishing for it, but taking actual steps.
Right. Even if you think it's impossible or you're just not sure where to begin.
Absolutely. And we've been looking at some really practical stuff from career coach Yoda Trum. She was on the Making Money podcast.
Ah, yes, her system for getting a pay rise. We wanted to break that down.
Exactly. A proven system.
So our mission here, for you listening, is to pull out those actionable steps from Yoda's system. We want to help you understand your worth and, well, confidently go after the compensation and the career progression you really deserve.
hmm And we'll look at the common pitfalls, too, and, strategies that work really regardless of your industry or company size.
Okay, let's get into it. Yoda's system kicks off with a maybe slightly unexpected first step, self-evaluation.
Yes, and it's quite structured. She suggests using a self-evaluation worksheet. Could be Excel, could be just a template you make.
Okay, like a spreadsheet.
Yeah. Column one is basically, what are your roles and responsibilities right now at your current level?
So you look at maybe your company's job description if you have one.
Right, if it exists and
Yeah.
is accurate. Or honestly, just make your own list based on what you actually do day to day.
Yeah,
What you were hired for maybe, and what you do now.
got it. Then column two.
Examples. This is key. For every single responsibility you listed, you need at least one specific example. Keep it short, though. Just enough to remember the instant.
Okay, like bullet points almost.
Pretty much. Then column three. This is where you look ahead. How would those roles and responsibilities change if you got promoted? What would the next level look like?
So projecting forward, what new stuff would you be doing?
Exactly. And now column four. This is often the real eye-opener, according to Yoda.
Oh, yeah.
We list examples of when you have already done tasks from that next level.
Okay, so stuff you're already doing that's technically above your pay grade.
Precisely. Yoda says this is often a huge aha moment. People find they're already doing like 60 or 70% of the next level job.
Wow, okay. I can see how that would be powerful.
Yeah.
You think you're not ready, but actually...
But the evidence is right there. It combats that feeling of, am I ready? Seeing it written down proves you're already operating higher, builds that confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. So the main point here is documenting it. It's not just feeling like you do more.
It's having the proof. You're building your case right from step one, demonstrating readiness, not just desire.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So step one, get clear on what you do and where you're already over-delivering. Then Yoda moves on to step two, which is all about finding your number.
Right. Knowing your market value, what are you actually worth out there?
And how do you figure that out? It feels a bit mysterious sometimes.
Well, Yoda recommends a mix of things. Definitely use online resources. Glassdoor, LinkedIn salaries are good starting points.
Look at the salary bands and job postings, too.
Yes, definitely, for similar roles. But also talk to people. Peers, maybe ones who work at other companies, mentors, coaches, if you have them.
Right, get real-world perspectives.
And Yoda, with her experience, she often has a pretty good sense of the right salary bands just from her work.
Hmm.
But for the rest of us, research is key.
And when you're looking at Glassdoor and sites like that, you need to be careful, right? Like filter by company size, location.
Oh, absolutely. And check if the numbers are base salary or total compensation that includes bonuses, benefits, the whole package. Big difference.
Good point. Then there's this other strategy Yoda mentions, the job offer strategy. Sounds a bit intense.
It can sound that way.
Mhm.
She suggests interviewing elsewhere maybe once a year, even if you have zero intention of leaving.
Okay. Why? Just to see what you could get.
Partly, yes. It gives you concrete real-time data on your market worth. But maybe more importantly, it builds incredible confidence. Getting an offer, knowing another company, values you at a certain level.
Ah, okay. It's like external validation, even if you stay put.
Exactly. It's not necessarily about being sneaky. It's about gathering intelligence on your value. You have to manage it discreetly, of course.
Right. So once you've done all that research, maybe even tested the waters with interviews, you should have a salary range in mind. Let's say $80,000 to $100,000.
Okay, yeah. Then Yoda's advice is, when you actually ask, aim a bit higher than your ideal number within that range.
So if I really want 90K,
You might ask for $100,
yeah.
or maybe even a little more. It just gives you room to negotiate.
Okay, building in some wiggle room. Strategic.
It acknowledges that it's often a negotiation, right? You want to land somewhere that still hits your target, even if they come back a bit lower than your initial ask.
Right, okay. So you've done the self-eval, you know your number. Step three, according to Yoda, is building your case, preparing for the actual conversation.
Exactly. And this is crucial. You need to frame your request as a win-win. It's not just good for you, it's good for the organization, and importantly, good for your manager.
How do you do that?
You leverage everything from that self-evaluation worksheet, all those documented achievements, those examples of you already performing at the next level.
So you connect your overperformance to what the team or company needs.
Precisely. Show how your work contributes to their goals. And look for other leverage points.
Like what?
Has your team grown? Are you handling bigger projects now? Have you directly impacted revenue or maybe improved customer satisfaction or saved the company money?
Ah, okay. Tangible results.
Yes. And even things like maybe you're mentoring junior staff now, or you streamline some process, things that show leadership potential and commitment beyond just your basic job description, they all add weight.
And Yoda also mentions emphasizing how fair pay boosts your motivation and loyalty, right? Which ultimately benefits them.
Absolutely. It's framing it as an investment in a high-performing, engaged employee, you. So you've got your evidence compiled, you've thought about the win-win, now comes the moment itself.
The conversation. Okay, you've done the prep, you know your worth, you have the evidence. This is the part that probably feels the most daunting for a lot of people. Having the conversation. Yoda has specific tips here, right?
She does. First off, don't spring it on your manager in a regular meeting or hallway chat. Request a dedicated meeting specifically to talk about your growth and career progression.
Okay, so schedule it properly, sets the stage.
Exactly. And start the meeting positively. Yoda suggests acknowledging your appreciation for the job, the team, the company, your manager's support. Build that rapport first.
Good idea. Soften the ground a bit.
Then you state clearly that you've done some thinking and, well, some analysis on your role and your contributions.
The self-evaluation work.
Right. And you've realized you're consistently performing at a higher level. And this is where you can offer to share your documentation.
That spreadsheet, you'd actually show it to them.
You can offer, yeah, say something like, I've actually put together some specific examples. I'd be happy to walk you through them if that's helpful. It shows you've done your homework.
Okay. Then what? Just ask for the raise or promotion.
You express your desire to be recognized for those contributions. And importantly, frame it around wanting opportunities for further growth within the company. It shows commitment.
So it's about your development, not just grabbing more money.
Exactly. It's a conversation about your trajectory there. And Yoda adds, use your regular performance reviews too. Try to get your manager to agree with your self-assessment during those chats.
So like, do you agree I successfully led the X project which had Y results?
Something like that. If they push back or disagree, Yoda says don't argue in the moment. Take the feedback, think about it, maybe discuss it with a coach if you have one, figure out how to address their concerns.
Okay. And there was a parallel strategy too, something about visibility.
Yes. Don't just rely on your direct manager knowing your value. Build your network internally. Make sure other key people, your manager, influential peers, are aware of your contributions and successes. Visibility matters.
Right. Make sure your good work isn't happening in a vacuum. Okay, so let's say this goes well. Maybe you get the promotion, or they're open to a significant raise. Now you have to talk actual numbers.
Ah, yes, the negotiation phase. This needs its own approach. Yoda calls it negotiating salary after a promotion or during that pay rise chat.
First thing.
Gratitude. Express genuine excitement and thanks for the promotion or the opportunity. Start positive.
Okay, always good.
Then you pivot. You can say something like, I'm really excited about this. Regarding the compensation, I had a slightly different figure in mind based on my research into the market rate for this level of responsibility and the value I know I bring.
Okay, direct but polite. And then you state your number, the one you prepared earlier, maybe slightly higher than your target.
Exactly. State your desired salary clearly. And then Yoda really stresses this, be quiet.
Silent. That sounds awkward.
It can feel awkward. But she says, resist the urge to immediately start justifying why you deserve it. That can project insecurity. Just state the number confidently and wait for their response. Let them react first.
Okay, let the silence do some work. What if they come back with objections, like, oh, the budget is tight right now?
Be ready for that. Acknowledge their point. I understand there are budget constraints, but then gently reiterate your impact. Remind them of the value you bring, the results you've achieved, and the long-term benefits of compensating you fairly fares. Retention, motivation, continued high performance.
So circle back to the win-win. And what if the salary number just isn't possible for them right now?
Then be prepared to negotiate other things that matter to you. More flexibility in your hours, extra vacation days, stock options, funding for professional development, or a conference. Think about your toil compensation package.
Right. It's not always just about the base salary. There are other levers.
Definitely. And Yoda shared a really striking example, didn't she, about mindset.
Oh, yeah. The woman making, what was it, $35,000?
$35K, but she was bringing in millions for our company. Through changing her mindset about her own worth and learning how to ask strategically, she eventually got her salary up to $150,000.
Incredible. It really shows how much believing you deserve it plays a part.
It's huge. And related to that, we had that listener question. Someone found out a new colleague, similar experience, was making $10Ks more. What do you do?
Right. Awkward situation.
Yoda's advice was, focus on your value and your market rate research. You can use that colleague's salary as another data point in your own research. It tells you what the company is willing to pay.
Yeah.
But probably best not to say, hey, I know Sarah makes X.
Yeah, keep the focus on your own case, using market data, including maybe that internal data point discreetly. Okay, what about trickier situations, like difficult managers or lack of hierarchy?
Yeah, that's a common challenge, especially maybe in smaller companies.
So if your manager just doesn't seem to support your growth, or there's literally nowhere to get promoted to.
Yoda's take is pretty direct here. You need to seriously evaluate if that's the right environment for you long term. A manager who doesn't champion you can really damage your confidence and hold back your career.
So it might be time to look elsewhere.
It might be. Don't underestimate how draining a non-supportive manager can be. But if you are in a flatter organization with limited formal hierarchy,
Like a startup, maybe?
could be, then the focus shifts. You need to demonstrate how much your role and responsibilities have grown compared to when you started. Your own progress becomes the benchmark.
Ah, okay. So you're showing increased value relative to your initial position.
Exactly. And if you've been with the company a while, Yoda says definitely leverage your loyalty. That commitment has value, especially in smaller firms. Make it part of your case.
That makes sense. What about people who aren't employees? Yoda had advice for self-employed individuals too, right? Freelancers, consultants.
She did. For them, it's about benchmarking differently. Look at what other successful entrepreneurs or freelancers in your field are charging.
So research competitors, essentially.
Yes, and network. Build connections in your industry. Talk about pricing. Talk about business models. It helps you gauge your own positioning.
And she mentioned confidence again here, didn't she?
Oh, massively. There's a direct link between how confident you are in the value you provide and what you're willing to charge. If you don't truly believe in your worth, it's hard to ask for higher rates.
So work on articulating your value proposition.
Clearly articulate the specific benefits and results you deliver for your clients. Make the value undeniable.
Okay. The last big piece Yoda touched on was the power of personal branding, which sounds a bit corporate maybe.
It can, but her point is interesting. It's not just for, like, finding a new job on LinkedIn. Personal branding is super important inside your current company, too.
Internal personal branding, how does that work?
It's about becoming known within your organization for your specific expertise, your strengths, your values. What do people think of when they think of you?
Okay, so being the go-to person for X, or known for being really collaborative or great at presenting, that kind of thing.
Exactly. It could mean sharing useful insights in team meetings, maybe volunteering for projects where you can showcase certain skills, even just being mindful of how you communicate your successes internally.
And how does that help with promotions or raises?
It accelerates things. If you're known for certain skills and for delivering value, when new opportunities or projects come up, your name is more likely to be top of mind for the decision makers.
Ah, visibility again. Makes sense.
And the key, Yoda stresses, is authenticity. Focus on genuinely sharing knowledge and insights, not just, bragging or constant self-promotion. People see through that.
Yeah, you want to be seen as helpful and knowledgeable, not just noisy.
Right. And she even made the point that strong internal brands benefit the company. It helps with retaining good people and even attracting new talent when employees are known experts.
That's interesting. And you mentioned she had a personal story.
Yeah, she apparently got a job lead or maybe even the job itself directly because of something she posted on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Just shows the sometimes unexpected power of putting yourself out there professionally.
Wow, okay. So lots to unpack there.
Definitely. So if we boil down this deep dive into Yoda Trump's system,
Yeah.
It really comes down to a few core things. First, really understand and be able to articulate your value, that self-evaluation piece.
Right, know what you bring.
Second, know your market worth. Do the research, find your number. Third, build a really solid evidence-based case for why you deserve more.
The win-win argument?
Exactly. Fourth, communicate strategically and confidently, plan the conversation, handle objections. And finally, don't underestimate the power of your personal brand, both inside your company and externally.
That's a great summary. So here's a final thought for you listening. Are you really taking proactive ownership of your career path and your compensation? Or are you kind of waiting, hoping someone will notice your hard work and reward you eventually?
Good question.
What's one concrete action, just one thing you'll commit to doing this week to get a clearer picture of your value in the market? Maybe it's updating your LinkedIn. Maybe it's checking Glassdoor. Maybe it's just starting that self-evaluation sheet.
Just one small step. And for anyone who wants to potentially work with Yoda Trum directly, we'll put her contact information in the description for this deep dive.
Absolutely. And to help you get started right away, we've put together a couple of resources. There's a free newsletter that lays out these key steps we've discussed.
Yeah, good summary.
Plus, Yoda actually provided a free workbook specifically on that self-valuation piece, digging into how to document your achievements. Really useful.
That sounds great.
You can find the links for both the newsletter and the workbook right there in the description below. Definitely check those out.
Please do. And as always, we'd love to hear from you. If you have experiences with this or questions that came up as you were listening, let us know.